Hello citizens, Recoil here. How y'all doing? Y'all having a good afternoon? I know it's the Mondays, but still. Doesn't mean you have to have a bad day. You could go have some soup. Or a burger, or, you know. But I don't feel like saying go have some soup is a bad thing. Come on. Anywho. So slight change of plans for today. The normal plan is to play, or as I usually play Elden Ring with Virus on Mondays, but that kind of fell through a little bit. What are you talking about? Oh, you can't take my cool guy points away for the pun. How do you think I got them in the first place? Straight up. That's what I'm here for. What? Oh god, no. No, you can't. That's you, my dude. You had me thinking. You almost had me. Unless voice mod is set quieter than normal, that would be like the only thing. It is going off incredibly lowly. Hold on. I wouldn't count this as scuff as much as it is probably just my audio engine being weird. Alright, okay, bucko. You had me worried there for a second, Andromeda. Hello. But yeah, normally we play Elden Ring on. You're fine. You don't need to apologize that bad. Normally we play Elden Ring on Mondays, but slight change of plans. So I'm going to be continuing the model kit build. That'll be fun, right? Aside from the fact that I broke the faceplate. Yeah, it's fine. He's just it's a football player without a face guard. It's fine. It's fine, right? What does a giant robot need protective headgear for anyway? Oh, you have no idea. It is. I'm just lucky that I ended up buying some plastic cement earlier. Plus now I can huff the fumes. It's great. Low-key, it is not actually good. I do not recommend sniffing plastic cement for the fumes. Plastic cement. Plastic cement is one of those things where it's made of it usually contains stuff like isopropyl alcohol. So it's mostly like you're going to be sniffing alcohol vapors and, you know, acetone. Not great, not healthy, not a good thing for you to do. Also, it was a Metar, not a Mega Man. I should know, I have made quite a few of them. Alright, let's get this set, or let's configure the camera so that way you guys don't get blind using my own hand as a white balance. Shoot. Too much. I don't think we need to do low light compensation. And then we zoom in as much as it will let me. And I have it so autofocuses, but I feel like that might be a smart thing to turn off. I know, right? The benefits of being so pasty. There are none. Other than the fact that I just reflect light. I can be technically I can be used to call for aid. You just point a flashlight at me and I'll illuminate the entire field. That is the wrong box. Alright, let's see here. Oh good, my hand looks like it's gloved. That's fantastic. You know, I was worried about it. I thought the nails might need to be trimmed, but no. Cool. That just means I've been taking care of it myself well enough. Don't look too closely at my fingernail beds, because that's where it gets weird and shankety. Anywho, so yesterday we started building Gundam Maxter. The HG Gundam Maxter. We got through the body, the head, and his arms. And it's been a good kit so far. And I went to the hobby store today just to because I thought I needed a new X-Acto blade to try and make it to try and get rid of as many nub marks as possible. Because I felt like sanding them off was not a good idea. And while I was there, I also picked up some Gundam markers. Which, if you aren't aware, they are used for panel lining. And if you aren't aware what panel lining is, well then allow me to explain. So, on various Gundam model kits, let's see here. Let's see if I can get closer. How else am I supposed to not get caught by the police? Okay. We'll try it with the head because maybe it'll focus in on that better. So, on the head, you'll see these little lines that are above the mouth and on the side of the face plate, right? Those are normally solid white. And so it's hard to see those on an actual figure whenever you're looking at it from a distance. So you need to take a marker or some special ink, essentially, to fill in those gaps to make it so that way they actually stand out well. And you can do this with a handful of colors, and it usually depends on what color you're trying to line. So, for instance, on a white face, you want to use a gray marker. On a blue face, you want to use a black marker, and on a red face, or on warmer color faces, which we see right here in his chest. I really don't like that light's position. Yeah. Anyway, for warmer colors like yellows and reds, we use a brown marker. And so I'm gonna start trying to do that while we go throughout the build today. I used to have Warhammer. I used to play an army known as the Grey Knights. They are essentially the Imperium of Man's demon or witch hunters. They are badass. They're also secretive, and they also got a game recently. It's called Demon Hunter. It's great. It was a solid game. I recommended it to my dad, mostly because it's an XCOM type game, and he loves that kind of shit. Anywhoozles. We'll do the panel line, or I was doing a little bit of panel lining earlier, and that's how I accidentally broke the faceplate because I had to pull the faceplate off, and the face, I don't know if you could tell, the face on this guy is real small, and my hands are not nearly as small. So, we're just gonna let the glue sit in on that for a hot minute as I try to fit, or as we move on with what will hopefully be the legs next. Because otherwise, yeah, look at that, we're fine. We got legs that we gotta build. Oh, hell yeah, they're symmetrical. Which means I can just cut out all the pieces at once. Let's see here, we got D, or we got the D's, we got D's, we got B's, we got C's, we got E's. And we've got, that's it, really, huh? Hell yeah. So B, E, D, C, hell yeah. That should be all we need for probably a good chunk of this today. But yeah, I've always been into model kits and building stuff. It's one of those things that makes me generally happy. Because, you know, that's just kind of what I do. Also, I just realized we're still listening to the same music. Fix that. Hope that's Pete. There we are. Let's let that load up. I am feeling not synthwave. Let's go with just that, or let's just go with Turn of the Millennium Rock. Not Eminem. Not yet, anyway. You know what? Screw it. I'm down with either. Let's go.
Double rainbow? What does it mean?
I don't know if that worked because I was tabbed into OBS. Hell yeah. Glad we all are in the same headspace of. This early, really? You're just abusing the fact that it's an hour-long cooldown, aren't you? That way you can have as many as possible. Honestly, respect. Let's see here, D2, 10, and 9. I still can't get over how well these new flush cutters cut. It's so nice. Oh, dude, there was never a doubt about RGB mode working. I swear that's the toe, so I feel like it's gonna come into play. Yes, I get it. Y'all want to fund my addiction, but unfortunately, I can't pick these bills up as they go to charity straight up. It's truly, truly a loss for me. For me personally. I am building a Gundam model kit from G Gundam Fighter. The Gundam model in question is Gundam Maxter. It is Neo America's Gundam, which in G Gundam Fighter, what they do is basically have the Olympics, except the Olympics is a giant robot fighting tournament, and the giant robot fighting tournament, ends up determining who is going to be leading the UN. It's great. It makes total sense if you think about it. It doesn't. God, I wish I had a money hat. You know how often I'd wear that? Not often, because I'd get that would be a recipe for getting mugged any day of the week, I swear. I said right? But nah, G Gundam Fighter is one of those reasons that I'm obsessed with mecha and stuff. It was one of G Gundam Fighter and Zoid's New Century Zero were both like formative for me as far as like anime and mecha watching. It helps that they were basically just Dragon Ball Z except with giant robots. Whoops. Apparently I didn't need the ease yet. Ooh. I'm just gonna set that over there and pretend I didn't cut it out already. I could make a money hat model anytime I wanted, but I don't want to make a money hat most of the time. I'm happy with as far as hats go, I'm pretty happy with my crown. Because, like, let's be real. It's kind of hard to top that. Let's see here, C11. Let's snap this on camera as opposed to away from the camera. Gotta remember to do that. Uh, it's not a lion. It's called a liger. It's a mystical mix between a lion and a tiger, and it's called Liger Zero from Zoid's New Century Zero. I like it too. I have. Hold on. I actually have a really nice figure of it. Yo, hey Mouse, how's it going? How's Final Fantasy 14? Dude, Zoid's New Century Zero was just a fun watch if you like giant robot fighting. And given, you know, G Gundam Fighter is where we're at right now, I think I'm pretty much always a fan of giant robot fighting. It's just so fun, you know? And then, as I got into college, I realized giant robots built for the sole purpose of fighting would quickly drain whatever resources we had as a people. So then I'm like, oh, hey, wait, toy robot fighting is pretty cool too. And realistically, I feel like toy robots is probably a bit more realistic. Because, like, if I already can't, I wear glasses, right? So I'm already not allowed to fly a plane. What makes you think they would let me behind the cockpit of a giant robot? It was called Gundam Evolution. However, its servers were taken offline. 12. Oh shiz. So you're 12 and 13. Yeah, I played Gundam Evolution. It was solid, but also I think the more hero shooters I play, the more I think I might not be the target audience for hero shooters. Not like they're terrible or anything. It's just that they're kind of not my type of game. Keep playing them and it's like, dude, they are fun. 100% recommend. If you like Gundam, there are plenty of starter grade Gundams. And the thing that you need to note with that is, let's start with this. All right. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. But this is a high grade model, or Gundam model. Oh, a pink one. Unfortunately, pink is a pretty rare color in the Gundam universe. That being said, there's a game that just came out. It's called Gundam Breaker 4. Love that game so much. Where it actually expresses basically the biggest piece of Gundam, or of like model kit building, where you're allowed to customize it however you want. You can take it or you can build it, cut it to ribbons, cut it any way you want, mix and match with other model kits, and then, you know, paint it whatever color scheme you want. For instance, I've done in the past, hold on, let me pull this up and let's turn this on. Hold on, I just realized that might have real pictures of my face. There are Gundam models with, wow, thank you, Imager, for not loading up the time I need you to. All right, now we go to Reddit, which is significantly less likely to get me doxxed. There are several models actually out there with multiple arms. Let's see here. Posts. Like, okay. There was a Gundam model that I customized one time while I was in college. And we're gonna just need to keep scrolling down quite a bit. Man, I used to post a lot on Reddit. Where are we at? How am I still so far away? Okay. So I had a Gundam that looked like this, right? Just a good old sniper build, right? And then I went through and customized that son bitch to look like this. You can see why I needed the sniper though, because I needed the visor to turn it into the knight's helmet. Built that sword 100% from scratch.
But all my light puns would have brightened your day.
And basically did so much work to try and make this thing 100% me at the time, which one of my favorite aesthetics is the knights in shining armor aesthetic. I don't know if you could tell that through my shoulder pads. But whenever you build a Gundam, whenever you build model kits, I'm not even gonna say Gundam model kits. You can take whatever you want and customize it exactly how you would like to customize it. Yeah, and there's some improvement. Also, no, that was not. I had a character for a game. The ones that are on my normal model, my superhero shoulder pads. And no, that wasn't.
His name is John C.
That was not. Hold on. I need to trim that sound down, don't I? Well, yeah, that's why it's called a catastrophe. Anywho, that was not Ratchet and Clank fan art. I had a character that I was working on a game for in college, and my goal was to make the most generic looking robot that I possibly could. And the fact that everybody keeps thinking, is that Ratchet and Clank? Kind of means I hit the mark, huh? Don't worry, Mouse, they're not after you. They were just stuck in the tree. You're fine. So if I would let viewers get hurt by the cats that get saved. Come on. Do I seem like I'd let anything happen to my lovely viewers? You don't have to answer that. No, Clank is at... If I went back and first of all, the robot's name was Gear. But Clank is a pretty generic looking robot. Let's be real. That's not a bad thing. It's just one of those things where it's you kind of got to recognize it. It's got a lot of the hallmarks of just like regular robot aesthetic. Nah, my Metal Gear would be if I actually had gotten him CNC'd like I'd thought to do at one point. But no, I didn't have the money for that at the time. I actually made a low poly version of Gear at one point for just because. I don't think I ever did anything with it. Also, hi, Ack. How do you like the new Cat Redeem? If you hadn't overblown the sound with the John Cena, you would have had your own, or you would have noticed the new sound that it comes with too. I don't know. It was probably, or it was there. I know it was. But yeah, no, that was a fun time in my life. Basically, being in college, being able to build model kits, work on video games in Unity, and just kind of screw around. Yeah, if you haven't figured out, I'm an indoor android. don't get out much. Honestly, it might sound like in poor taste, but it's one of those things where it's like, I go outside, I'm like, there's nothing out here I want to do, so... Except for, like, my regular hero work, but that's on time. Or that's basically company time. Let's be realistic. So this... Yes, D8. I think there's a lot of... I think there's not very many arguments in the VTuber communities for going outside and doing stuff. Not exactly an exploratory bunch, are we? Exactly. Who would do that? Why would we do that? Going outside? Pretty cringe, bro. Pretty cringe. Why go outside when there are toys and robots and video games in here? You're inside. I feel like it's a very fair point. Oh my god, like grocery shopping. Actually, no, I don't. I feel like I need to get out of the only times I actually really go out are mostly for work and grocery shopping. But I recognize the need for that. You know, because like you can't 100% coop yourself inside, or otherwise you're just going to get so bored and it's just going to be so miserable. Going outside is actually good for your mental health. So, you know, don't stay inside all the time. Plus, how are you supposed to meet new people if you stay inside all the time? Now, that does help with the stranger danger, though. I'm just saying, I've never been kidnapped while being inside, so... It does raise a valid point. Man, how are you meeting people through Discord? That's how you talk to people you already know. Honestly, I lucked out with how I met the people that I know. Yes, but how'd you make that first friend? You had to go outside, you had to talk to people. Let's see. 5, 26, 28, 29, 27. Ah, these 4. I don't know. It seems a little sus. I feel like you could have gone outside and met a few of them. He says as he advocates sitting inside playing video games more than going outside and doing stuff. Honestly, it's just that there's nothing to do out there, you know? Like, that's what my big complaint was, is that all the things I want to do, like, I don't want to go to bars, because, frankly, I'm not the type to like loud noises and that kind of stuff, right? Then, I'm also not one to like... Yeah, and like, to here, or where I am, you end up going to a bar and drinking and listening to live music, and I don't like listening. First of all, I don't like listening to live music, and second of all, I don't like beer. So I'm just sitting here kind of like, What the?
Harry, baby.
Sup, Ember? How you doing? I assume you're playing Space Marine? Is it everything you dreamed of and more? Oh my god, you're falling behind on the curve. How well are you supposed to fight for the Imperium of Man at this rate? Oh, you're gonna do it on stream. I get you, I get you. That's fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting to the point where I like not doing things on stream. Let's see. I think that was all the A pieces I needed. I think that was all the pieces I needed for this set of steps. So I think we can actually put the sprues back down. So now we just gotta do cleanup. So if you are in here, just kind of trying to figure out how to do model kits and stuff. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out your parts from the model kit, or from the sprue on the model kit, right? Then you'll end up with these little pieces on them. They're called nubs. There we are. The nubs, they're just little plastic bits left over from the sprue, right? And so you can get rid of them a few ways. The most common way is you take your flush cutters, which will have a flat side. So for me, it's on this side. Put it up against the flat edge of the part, and then snip. You're done. And then be left with this little nub mark. See if I can get it to focus in. Basically, you'll end up with a little mark where the nub was. And that's where you end up having to sand it and do stuff to make it nicer. There's also a real quick trick where sometimes you can get rid of the nub mark just by scratching your fingernail over it. So it's always worth it to try and push that over on top of it. However, I bought a whole bunch of tools, so I'm going to be using as many tools as I possibly can to make everything look as nice as possible after I do the initial removal. So, you know, nothing too special. Or you could do the smart thing and just buy Lego sets, and then you just put the Lego sets together. I forgot! So, those minifigs that I got yesterday, I used a web app called Figure Finder to kind of validate which figures or minis I was going to get, because I really wanted that Dragonborn Paladin, right? So, and it was 100% accurate. So if you're into collecting the Lego collectible minifigures, highly recommend going and doing that, so that way you don't have to sit there trying to guess about which minifig you're gonna get and then get 6 of the same one in a row. Which was weird, because when I was scanning them and like trying to figure out which one was the one I actually wanted, I ended up scanning like 3 or 4 in a row that were the exact same thing. So if there is somebody who picks up from that lot 4 from the exact same row, they are screwed. At least for uniqueness sakes. Maybe they just want the minifigures. How does the scanner work? Basically, you go to the web page on your phone, and then it'll open up. It'll ask to use your camera, and then after it asks to use your camera, there is a QR code on the bottom of the minifigure boxes that will I have no idea. I'm assuming. Here's the thing, I didn't buy them though. I just looked at them and I was like, what the hell? And I'm assuming that it's just one of those that it was just weird luck of the draw kind of thing. But you know, no big deal there. Kind of just one of those things where it's like, thank goodness I had that little handy dandy scanner. Otherwise, I would have been pissed. I really got to thank Reverie for showing that page to me, because he is a 100% the GOAT for that. God, it is very therapeutic to build model kits. I think it is a very good. It's like bonsai, but instead of being able to instead of having a plant, you get toy robots. It's awesome. Points. I don't know if they have. Fair enough. While I was going through Hobby Lobby, I did see like a coin collector book, and I was like, man, I didn't realize people still collect coins. Good for them. So, you know, good for you. I'm glad you still get to collect coins. Are there any coins out there that you're just sitting there like, oh man, I just gotta have them? Hey man, I'm not being facetious. I'm genuinely curious. Are there anything, what do you find appealing about coins? I'm sitting here sharing my hobby with you. You can share your hobby with me. I'm not gonna make fun. What do I have to make fun of? I'm sitting here building toy robots. I kind of wish that I could put my mic closer to the snips so y'all could hear it better while I'm actually doing it. But like, I still haven't figured out how those guys who do the ASMR videos do them so well. Like, how do you not hear the guy breathing the entire time he's doing it? Do you think he ever just messes up a take and is like, mother? And then that entire like reel is just ruined. I imagine it's easier to do with ASMR Lego because you don't lose the section of like, you just put a couple bricks together and it's like, okay, well, beans. Red quarters? Are those the quarters with the are those the quarters with the little red or like copper band around them? Oh, so that means they were quarters that actually came from the arcade themselves. Before they actually added tokens that were like unique to the arcade, like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. That's neat. Kind of, it's one of those things I wouldn't think about normally, and I would just be like, oh yeah, you just always used either quarters or tokens. I don't know. Oh, is this why I... Oh. Apparently holding your arm out like this will cause strain eventually. Good to know! Good to know. You should not think that... I would not think that cutting things from a... or cleaning up parts from a model kit would be a minor exercise. And it might just be because I'm leaning forward a weird way and putting the weight on my shoulder for no reason. Alright, I get this is a metal version, or this is a rock version of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, but the Devil still had a better, like, riff than Johnny did. Devil's just a good sport about losing. Or he listened to Johnny and was like, alright, I do not want to have this kid's energy, like, ruining hell for me, so, we're not taking you. That being said, I feel like a gold guitar is much cooler than a golden fiddle. Ooh. So it might be worth more than 25 cents is what you're saying. Nifty. I feel like I used to find those all the time as a kid. Now I probably don't. No? Ember, you gotta realize I mute like every channel on Discord. Because if I didn't, I'd go crazy because I'm one of those people who sees the little red dot, and if the little red dot's there, I have to go click it. And if I didn't have that, if I didn't have every channel I'm a part of basically muted, I would never be off Discord.
Hail to the king.
See, Mouse gets it. I've seen that one going around on Twitter. Dude really lost the weight. You gotta be real proud for him, huh? That's no easy task. I can't remember his name, but like, dude, he lost like a whole person. Right? It gets so overwhelming to the point where the only channels I have unmuted are ones that I'm like directly responsible for. Yeah. You know what? Fair. I feel like I need to do that with more memes for myself. I've got my younger sibling actually working on a couple of meme emotes for the Discord. And whether they might end up over here on Twitch if I end up having either slots or thinking they replace some of my more conventional emotes. chief among them being, actually, hold on, I'll show it to you. So I'm gonna need to first show you the meme, which y'all will know. Yes, I'm aware. Visit the site. So, the original meme being this GIF, which I originally mentioned to them, oh, I should probably animate High Caliber doing this, because I just think that would be funny, right? Just him loading up a shotgun like, shame! To which my younger sibling was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. And then the only correction then being, you know, he has a helmet. Why don't we put the helmet on him? The hell is that? Oh, I thought that was a part. My younger sibling's awesome. They've done most of the nicer emotes that you've seen on my stream. Like, hold on. And in the Discord. Honestly, that's my favorite part about having a Discord, is that I can just put my own emotes up there and be ready to have whatever I want there. But yeah, they have done emotes by my younger sibling are this one, this one, this one, this no, that one's me. This doo-doo-doo. There we go. Let's see here. Did that one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Yeah, basically, no. I was typing them out in chat. So that way you can, exactly. So they've given me quite a few, and most of them are just like meme formats that I cannot be bothered with sometimes, because you know how it be where you just get like so many little ideas for emotes, and somebody's got to make them eventually, and like if I'm busy making emotes, I can't make 3D models and stuff. So, you know, there's the sacrifice. I end up my younger sibling charges me $50 for 3 emotes, and like, is that a bit much? Yeah, but they're worth the price. Plus, they're always custom, so it's not like, hey, let me find a template, or they're not working from a template for anything. So that's nice. That's honestly my big thing. If you are wondering who they are on Discord, it's Griffin. Oh my god. Or Platypen. They really, here's the thing, I think that's just their normal charge price. And if you look at, here's actually the other thing with it. It's not like they give me, so whenever you go and look at like Twitch and Discord, they want you to have it like 128 by 128. But as long as the file size ain't too terrible, Twitch will auto scale it. So now, like if I come over here, this is a full high quality 512 by 512 emote. I can basically, oh yeah, he also did this one. Which I ended up having Hero help me by animating it. Yeah, they only did this part of the Elmo one. I had to do the animated fire behind it myself. I straight up adore damn near every emote that I've gotten from them. Because they're just so good. And like I said, for the price of like for the price that I'm paying for them. That's some high quality line art. That's some nice art. Plus it's supporting local, or plus it's supporting family, plus and all that other stuff. So good. I'm so glad that he didn't put buck teeth on that. And then we got Dino Magus. Oh my god, love this one. I love how much detail there is on this one, just like in the mouth. We had to go through like 3 revisions to get the eyes to look like they weren't straight up reptile eyes and actually make the expression really readable. That was the other thing. I wasn't limited on the amount of like requests I got to do, or like reworks I got to do. Also, Mouse, hi. I made my own new emote for the Discord. Don't know if you've noticed it. Actually, this one is not in, I don't know if it's in the Discord yet. It's going to be. It's my little D&D robot, Sprocket. Oh my god, it's so silly. I only had to make 1 frame and then just animate it. Love it. The next animated emote that I need to make is like, I need to actually make Skitter holding up the pan instead of just having the pan floating there. I feel like that would be a much nicer thing to look at than, or at the end of the day, you know? Alrighties. So now we actually have to clean up all these parts. And so for the most part, most people will sit there and be like, oh yeah, that's clean. But then if you're like me, you're weird. So you end up needing to take something like an X-Acto knife and scraping off the edges. Or if you want, and that'll get you like 90% of the way there. You'll still be able to feel it, but you won't really care. We should probably do that with the parts that I need as I go, shouldn't we? Isn't that what we figured out yesterday? Yeah. And so, there we go. Let's do that. Do the old finger then check it with the fingernail. Boom. Easy peasy. And that'll get you a pretty solid, a pretty solidly clean part. Man, all the automation is happening as I'm happen to be tabbed into OBS. Let's see here. Big trick here is to not stab yourself in the face. But this is all 100% unnecessary when it comes to model kit building. I'm just crazy. And I take a certain level. Is anybody ever going to look this closely at my model kits? No. Is anybody going to care to look this closely at my model kits? No. Do I know, though? Yes. And at the end of the day, isn't that what really matters? We're doing this for our own zen as opposed to for the appeal of others. What the hell happened to this piece? Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not gonna lie, I was super excited about this mod. Did I just put that in upside down? Ugh, I did. No matter. It's One Piece. Not the One Piece. I will. Thanks for wishing me a good stream. Have a good luck with your have a good luck with the space marining. Be sure to give the Tyranids one or what for? You know, for the Chaos Gods. Especially Papa Nurgle. That is literally only a reference for mostly him. That works for the most part. You know what? I like this better than sanding. Feels more effective. Ooh, what were you sewing? Man, y'all are just filled with hobbies, aren't you? That's good. There are so many people without hobbies, and it's just, I cannot comprehend how they operate on a day-to-day basis. Apparently socializing is their thing. Cannot be me socializing like an actual functioning member of society. So it's more utilitarian than fun, huh? Dude, I'm legitimately not allowed to talk on that one. Do you know why I stream? It's to socialize. So, you know, all my friends I've made through streaming. I kind of lucked out though, where I only really had to make one friend through streaming. And then all the rest of my friends sort of just, they sort of came in as part of the group. And then they were stuck with me. I basically held on to Hero Strain's leg and then was like, hey, you want to play Halo and then he said yes, and then I'm like, haha, I'm never leaving now. You fool, you have fallen for my trap. Here's the thing, depending on your hobbies, streaming might not be the way for you to make friends. Like, realistically. Might be a way for you to make friends via playing games or finding other people who have similar interests if you're doing that interest on stream. If you're just streaming to stream, that ain't it, Chief. I'm actually legitimately thinking about cutting back on streaming. Not because of some weird, like, ooh, I have enough friends. But because the reason I feel that my stream has been stagnant lately. And I think the reason for that is because I haven't done any. I've been trying to use my stream as a form of content, right? This whole content creation engine. However, that's not how this is supposed to work. Streaming is never supposed to be the full-on content. It's supposed to be the method of which you gather content. So for instance, let's say I made a game review show. I'd have to use streams to get game or footage of the game. And then what we would do from there is take the footage that I would get from streaming and then incorporate it into the actually scripted and written review, right? But I don't do that. He's got a little foot now. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Oh, that's dumb. Foot. It was a good pun and you know it. I still need to finish. Mouse, you playing Final Fantasy 14 earlier. I know you're in Dawn Trail right now, but I'm still in Stormblood. I have just not had the wherewithal to like do post Stormblood MSQ. It is such a slog. I don't know why. It's not like I've burnt myself out on it. Especially like when you know there's stuff coming. Like I think doing them as they happen, you are way more drip fed them, right? And so it just feels better. I have to assume it feels better anyway, because like I've got several friends who have I've got one friend who has literally gotten all of his classes up to level 100. At least all of his combat class, or all of his things of war and magic. Hands of war and magic. Hi Nico, how's it going? How are you? I'm building model. It features feet, but also hex. Oh, you missed it. Yesterday I got, in case you and your partner need to go get specific D&D minis. Huh? There's an app for that. I sat in Walmart for 20 minutes scanning packages so I could get the boy. But no, don't worry. I didn't just get one boy. We also got another boy with his boy. And it's great. Well, I mean, or I'll remind me, or like send me a DM. And I can send you a link to the figure finder. It's great. Yeah, and that's like, that's the big problem with it, and being like the last one to the party too. Like, oh yeah, everybody else is already off doing their fun Dawn Trail stuff, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god. Do I really have to care about Ishtola? Not Ishtola. Do I really have to care about Lise trying to run the new country's military? Oh wait, do you have this boy and this boy? got a little brain. Little guy. He's just a little guy.
Oh my god. It's so great.
They're great. They are fantastic. And yeah, see, okay. Mouse, that is exactly what Fenpai's reaction is to me, being that as close as I am to getting into Shadowbringers. She's like, I need to see you play Shadowbringers Recoil, come on! And I'm like, I will get to it. Eventually. But until then, I'm gonna sit here and... Where did I miss that nub? It's just, oh my god. Especially because of my personality where I have to go and get, all the blue quests done before. Ruined thing? Ruined thing? Dude. Oh my god. I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute, I threw the boxes away in here, didn't I? Oh, or something Tram. He was the big bad guy that was in the D&D movie. Yeah, no, it's that villain who infected all of... I want to say Zarnia, but I know that's not right. Yeah, dude. It's not even that it's taken a long time. I just don't want to do it. Like, I picked up leveling... I don't need to right now, but for some reason I picked up leveling Machinist. For no reason. Other than, I don't know, I thought it'd be neat. And so that's distracting me even further from properly doing the MSQ. It is, and I only have I have tank classes out the waz. I have all of my tank classes up to level 70, so I figured it was time for another DPS. And at least this one was on brand with robots. Okay, that is a lot rougher and faster than I thought it was going to be. Let's try 800 now instead. Ooh. Ooh. We're gonna pretend I didn't do that. Yeah, you want to talk about falling off good games? I think I have taken at least 2 attempts at playing Elden Ring right now. Once on my own before. Then I had once as a co-op before the co-op run that I'm currently running with Bad Times Virus. And I know it's good. I also know it's friggin' massive. And I don't know if I don't see how so many people can get through it so many times. Like, I think they just come home and that's all they do is play Elden Ring, and that's like their second full-time job. Dude, Baldur's Gate 3. Yes, I got Act 3 and then I just stopped. Oh my god. Like, I don't know what. Act 1, super fun. Act 2, all right, I get it. Act 3, I'm just sitting there like, oh my god. We still have to, there's more? I was actually having a really fun time with it too. personally just wanted to play the characters. And then, like, I can't do that thing where I play multiple characters at the same time. Because then I just get annoyed with it. Because it's like, I've already seen this. I'm not doing anything different because I am just that brain. So, like, I need something else to make this a novel experience for me. So at one point, Nico and I are part of the same Nico is in multiple D&D campaigns, and I'm part of one of those campaigns. At one point, we had the friggin' brilliant idea that we should run through the D&D we should run through with our D&D characters. We got like an hour and a half into that one. And we never touched it again. Yeah. It's okay. That happens. Yeah, I think I need to be using 8. Right. Yeah, 800 is where it's at. Or 800 is where the heat is on this. Hell yeah. I like that it's weekly now. I'm not gonna lie. I think weekly is how I like to play it. And I weep for poor Nokon's brain. D&D is such a good... That's another one of those good hobbies. Like, it's so fantastic. But I think that all depends on who you play it with, right? It's not necessarily the game itself that's a great hobby. It's the people that you play it and how you interact with it that makes it great. Actually, that's, I think, true for every hobby. Like, this is only good, or making model kits is mostly fun to me because of how much effort I put into it and how nice the final product ends up being to me. I get to put that on my shelf and then be like, haha, I did the thing. I'm going to say this. It's not just that we lucked out about him being so crazy into being a DM. I think we lucked out in the fact that the people that we are all playing with are character-driven people. You know? Because I've got my own little personal theory about various D&D players. Where, for instance, I think there are about 3, maybe 4 different types of DMs. There are the ones who are focused on building a world. These are the people. Actually, I like to think of 3 because I like to relate it back to Tolkien, because that's how all high fantasy ends up working back to Tolkien at some point, right? Anywho, I like to think of it very Tolkien-esque, where you got the world builders. These are the guys who write the Silmarillion. They will develop all the trade routes for our world. They will develop a new language, a whole religion system, a whole everything, and then be like, oh, you wanted a bad guy? Well, I made up this character who's like an oil baron. He could be potentially evil. To some people, that's too much work. To other people, it's not. That's the whole thing. That's how... And some people don't like interacting with... I've played with a DM who was exactly that type. He loved coming up with all the stuff that filled the world and made it feel alive. Then when it came down to the story, he sort of put together something that made sense. And then when it came to how the characters interacted with that story, he was like, I don't know. Yeah, yes. So, this is how y'all relate to that story, and that's how he did that. Then, on the other hand, or on another finger, we got somebody who writes, who's way more story driven, right? And they focus. That's like writing the Lord of the Rings. It's a nice, massive epic, focused entirely on the story of good versus evil. And so it's usually to the point where you can basically replace every single character in the story with a completely different one. And as long as good rises up and evil goes down, the story is told. Doesn't matter how your characters were related to that bad guy or how they got involved in the story. The point is, they got involved in the story, then they did that. See what I'm saying? Then you got, which is how most people do it. That's how one shots are written. It is a story that you can insert any character into. Then you got people like me and Nico and Nokon, who are all here about the character drama. I don't give a shit about the world or what potential overarching story the world has in it. I care about how my character interacts with this world, how my character interacts with the other players' characters, how my character interacts with the DM and the DM's characters. And so the DM, for me, what I find to be the best fit is when a DM will make a story that is fit to your character. And then have the world fit the story just however he needs to, or however they need to make it, so that way, oh, yes, you guys are doing a pirate adventure because your parents were pirates and it's a family business, and then you had to become a pirate of a rival crew because whatever. And then, oh, you guys need to stop at a port town? Let me make up a port town real quick. And there might have been a general idea of this is the structure of the world, but for the most part, flying by the seat of the pants, because it's we're trying to fit the characters into this story, into this world. Here's the thing, you don't need a whole world. That's my opinion of it. Having a whole world helps because then it's one of those things where it's you can go super in depth. But there are plenty of stories that the characters do not interact with anything outside their immediate surroundings. You don't need to create an entire Elvish language. You just need to have them. Exactly. See, Nico, or you can kind of understand what I'm talking about then, Nico. But as I was just saying, exactly. You add new stuff as the character's story blows up, and the world needs to grow bigger and bigger to fit those characters in it. What was the next piece I needed? I think we're doing these. Yes, these look right. Yes. Yes, those look right. Dude, it's all been rock songs. This is the one that makes white people pop off, and as a white person, I'm allowed to say that. And if you doubt how white I am, I'm literally almost as white as this box. Be careful, I'm becoming self-aware. As an android, you should be worried. As a person, not so much. Shit, that's a good joke. I'm gonna need somebody clip that. That's a great bit. Has Android hold on, I'm becoming self-aware. And then just like go angry eyes. Ah shit. No. Go back. This is what happens when you have too many buttons. You get too many buttons for too many things. But yeah, I feel like if you're writing a story for a character and it's depending on how tightly character focused it is, you don't need a whole bunch of stuff, or you don't need a whole bunch of outside influence. Like for instance, if I was going to write a comic about Recoil, one of his flaws is that he's actually supremely dense to the world around him. Because he's a self-insert, and I'm incredibly dense to the world around me. I don't watch the news, I don't do anything. And so how does a character in that world work then? Well, you talk about how he interacts with the things in his immediate surroundings. You put a problem in front of him, that's it. It doesn't do one of those he doesn't ever go into the root cause analysis for why this villain attacked. It's just, hey, this villain attacked, I stopped it, ta-da. And then you have that villain come back up, and it's like, didn't I just put you in jail? And then it's like, no, you didn't stop me. Yes. I would have to actually probably honestly, just the fact that the clip exists means it's basically acting like a bookmark for me. So that means I will at least know where to go look so I can properly clip it later. And so unless you went back to like the beginning of stream and made a clip. I'll get to it. Twitch is actually really good about letting you know when somebody has like clipped your content. It's one of my favorite parts of it anyway. I feel like I need to hire a professional clipper just so that way I can I hire a professional viewer? Like their whole job is to watch me and then make clips for whatever they think would be like a good moment. Thank you, Andromeda. I really appreciate it. How much do you think a professional viewer would get paid? I think they make that for that's basically what a movie reviewer is, isn't it? Just a professional viewer. Yo, thanks for the follow, Echo. How are you? The tiny car part? Tiny car part. I'd have to go back through and look at the clips to see what that one was. I'm not gonna lie. I did a clip show, I think after my first year of streaming, and then I thought that was it was incredibly self-indulgent. I don't regret doing it, but it was all clips I made myself. And then like TikToks that I made myself. Well, Echo, do I have somebody to introduce to you? Andromeda was literally just talking about how they were working on writing earlier. And we were talking about how we were talking about D&D. Yeah, don't worry. How Andromeda, this is how you're supposed to make friends online. It's fine. You can talk to them. We were actually talking about D&D earlier and how there are different types of DMs, which essentially could be interpreted as different types of writers. Where it could be one who focuses on the world and the story the world is trying to tell. And then, yeah, and so like, here's a question. Could you swap the characters out easily to pull in a different protagonist and have the story essentially remain the same? Because that's like, I used The Lord of the Rings as an example, where as long as you have one character who can hold the ring, the story will essentially play out the same. The ring will be discovered, the ring will be delivered or travel across the land. The ring will be delivered to Mount Doom and cast into the fire. You hit all the major beats. Now the stuff in between might change, like, oh, Boromir might not exist, or they might just fist fight the Balrog into oblivion. Exactly. It does all depend on the story we're talking about, and it starts falling apart whenever you look at it as a grand macro scale set of story guides, especially from somebody who is not a writer. Since this is just like my own personal insights for what I've seen for Dungeons and Dragons. And then you got people like, I never related, the story-based ones are supposed to be The Hobbit. Or like the character-based ones are like The Hobbit, because The Hobbit is an incredibly tightly focused story based on a single character. Like, you cannot tell the story of The Hobbit without Bilbo Baggins. Like, you could replace it, but it's not going to be the same story. And then, anywho. And then you got a completely different kind where... Exactly, so you're focusing on an incredibly... You are focusing on an incredibly character-driven story. And I think the character-driven stories are the best stories, and those are the ones that we like the most. And like, that's what we'll usually find in stuff like comic books. And I think they're also they are the most common ones. Not a bad thing. They're just the ones that you need to have. Like, yeah, like the character has to be integral to it. If you're making a book where it's like, oh yeah, my main character is mostly just an observer, which is perfectly valid and fair. And how did I miss this piece? You can just have like an observer be there as a character, as your main like narrator. That's the term I was looking for in my brain. That's good too. You gotta know how to use it well. I think I cut too much on this piece. We're just gonna hope that works. Have you ever played a game called Soma? I feel like you'd enjoy that. I think it is a genuinely brilliant horror game, and I'm not a huge fan of horror games typically, but I think it asks a very solid philosophical question, which is one of those things that I think the best horrors do. Like, you can pop out of a closet and go boo monster type horror, that's fine. Sometimes it's good fun, or it's good clean fun sometimes to just have a murderer who's just on the loose, right? But then sometimes you do need that one where it's like, hey, was the real horror was the real horror the deep dark questions we asked along the way? And anywho, Soma fits into that category of horror of, was the real horror the friends we made along the way? In some cases, quite literally. And I played it last year for Halloween. And so I don't think I would play it again. Mostly because there's nothing, it's one of the, it is unfortunately one of those horror type games that you do not gain, there is no reason to play it a second time. The twist is already spoiled and the monster's been unmasked, so to speak. Which is a shame, because it's such a good game. Like, it's very much just a walking simulator of a game. Or of a horror game, but, like, it's still good. And I don't think there's any way to really speedrun it aside from breaking it. And, like, who wants to really break a horror game? Although I do find that there is something really fun about the type of horror game where they give you a gun. Or, like, coming back around on another playthrough and having the opportunity to just, like, make fun of everything at every turn. Like, yo, you're good. Oh, that's a good... I feel like that's not, like, the worst way to be hit with nostalgia. It's not like they pulled out the photo album and was like, oh, remember your old dog? Yeah, he's buried outside. Which is a sad type of nostalgia. We don't like the sad type of nostalgia. We appreciate our good type of nostalgia, you know, like our toys of our old Pokemon, or of our favorite Pokemon from Generation 2. Love ya, Typhlosion. How did I have that right here? Don't ask. Don't tell. No, I have so many things around my desk. I basically live in a bin of nostalgia. I know what Trans-Siberian Orchestra is. They do like their version of, I can't remember the name of the Bell song. They're the one that do the metal version of dun da da dun dun da da dun, Carol of the Bells. That's what it's called. I don't know why I needed to think of the Burger King version of that song first before I thought of the actual name of it. Yes, I can name any song as long as it has a Family Guy parody cover. Yo, but wait, low key, Family Guy has some great songs. Like, you will find me cold and dead, or you will find me cold and dead in an e-waste junk heap. Okay. Have a good stream, Millennial. Or should I go with Echo? I feel like Echo. Have a good stream, Echo. Yeah, Andromeda, you should totally go follow them. I feel like y'all would get along swimmingly. Cool deal. I think Echo works better, and I don't know any other Echoes yet, weirdly enough. So I look forward to seeing you around, calling you Echo again, and, you know, have a good rest of your stream. You've seen You're not. Plus, you never know what you could learn from each other. Maybe you know some stuff about writing they don't know. Maybe they know some stuff about writing that you don't know. That's how I feel whenever that's how I feel whenever I'm interacting with Hero. Like, there's usually at some point, like, hey, did you know you could do this in Blender? And then it's like, wait, no, I didn't. I feel like I need a panel line. See, look at that. With words. That's how you ask. Dude, lurking while you set up stream is perfectly good. Perfectly a good time. Dude, no, wait. If you have your if you're like me and you have your browser audio feeding into your disk or into your stream, that could be pretty bad for you. Because then you could have some people come in and be like, who the hell is that guy in the background? What's he talking about? Did he say something about a banana peel? Because I do tend to just kind of ramble and talk about random junk. Or they'll be like, I swear, I hear it popping. Fair enough. It's funny you should ask that, Andromeda. This is not, wait a minute, this is not the best character that I can have to explain that, because I have a better character to explain that. This is the Dummy 13, an action figure that is, or a 3D printable action figure that is free, or that you might recognize from various other internet sources as the Titan 13. Now, something to note about this figure is that it's mostly ball joints. And so, if the figure, or if the character that you are working with is all ball joints, it all then depends on where they have limiters. For instance, this has a limiter right here at the top of the thigh, that prevents it from going, if I take this one off and leave the other one on, you'll notice that this leg can now go unimpeded up to the point where it hits the hip. Meanwhile, this one can only come out to a flat angle, right? So then it's got a full 360-degree range of motion. That is what's known as a 3-degree of freedom joint, meaning it can rotate in 3 different axes, X, Y, and Z. And that's what all ball joints would be. And so if we take this, which is a pretty accurate representation of the human body, of ball jointed hip, double jointed knee. Yes, you have about 2 joints in your knee. It's kind of just how your kneecap actually works. Essentially a ball jointed ankle. We don't actually have humans don't actually have ball jointed ankles, but you know, it's pretty close. And then enjoy the lurk, my dude. And then you got some toe hinging. So that's 1 degree of freedom, 4 degrees of freedom, 6 degrees of freedom, 8 degrees of freedom, 11 degrees of freedom per leg. So 22 degrees of freedom for both legs and combined. Then if we can actually assume pretty much the exact same thing for the shoulder. So 33, 44. Then we got the neck, which will simplify down to a 3-degree of freedom joint at the top base of the neck and a 3-degree of freedom joint at the top of the neck. So 50 degrees of freedom. Then we got another 3-degree right here at the hip or chest. And then another 3-degree of freedom right here at the waist. So that's 56 degrees of freedom. If you were looking for a quantifiable measure of your degrees of freedom. Oh, I forgot this. Add 4 degrees of freedom because of being able to rotate along your thigh and bicep. In toys, this is called a bicep swivel. In reality, what that is representing is like the ulna twist. So it's actually closer to 60 degrees of freedom as far as an actual person. And so if you had a fully ball jointed person, it'd be pretty flexible. They'd be able to bend all different types of ways. Because you'll notice that one of the limits here is that the elbows are hinges. So they can only move really in one axis. Oh shit. That's the case, then I was right earlier with 56. But point is, if you had a ball joint at your elbow instead, like this dude, you could take your entire arm and swivel it around. You want this guy? You can actually buy one. Word. So yeah, if the character for some reason has ball joints, the only limit they have is the fact that they have something holding those ball joints together. If they are not organic, i.e., you know, like a doll or a living figurine or a mannequin, all the joints could rotate freely. And I highly recommend then going and just getting an action figure and playing around with it, see how they can move and see what kind of creepy shit you can do with them. Like, you could take this guy and then, like, bend him all up sideways and like then have him just sort of hanging around. And he would just be all contorted, and then you just have him discontort in a weird way and essentially unfold himself to be standing up. Bonus points for making him tall and lanky. Because even more bonus points if you make him short and stocky. Mostly because tall and lanky and flexible is pretty common. But have you ever seen a flexy dwarf? Oh my god, that would be hilarious. And I don't mean like dwarf as in little person. I mean dwarf like rock and stone, brother. Type dwarf. I think that shit would be hilarious. Oh my god, I cleaned these parts so soon, or so long ago, and I have not assembled them yet. Uno momento, por favor. Let's actually put these together. Am I going? I don't think I think I will be distracted with talking more than I will actually be of putting shit together. No problem. I am here to help. I'm Recoil the hero, not Recoil the standby person. Doo-doo-doo. Jeez, I need to do more hero work. One of the reasons I would think about taking a break from streaming is so I can figure out how to animate, so I can actually animate hero work. And as much as I would love to be able to like stream my animation process, I'm not good enough at animating. I'm not good enough at animation to make streaming animation interesting to watch. No, here's the thing. I'm all right. I am. The problem is I'm at this weird stage where I know stuff that I should be doing psychologically, right? But then the actual application of it all, I'm a bit behind the 8 ball on. And so it just takes me longer. So I can make a decent animation. It just takes me longer than I care to admit. Oh, look at that colors. Look at that color separation. And that's not, that could have been a sticker, but they let it be its own unique piece. Love you, P Bandai. But yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do as far as animation goes. It's just I can't get it done fast enough. And I can't fail at it enough. Or I can't fail with enough grace to make it entertaining to watch on, or the failure watch, or the watching of the failure entertaining on its own. So, what am I supposed to do? Well, at the end of the day, I think that just means I have to sit there in my room trying to animate and figure it out. Exactly. Dude, I think anybody who's taken an English class would agree with you that English is hard. And anybody who's taught an English class would be like, yeah, that's the idea. There we go. Calves done. Then we're going to take these as our next set of pieces. Yeah, I'll keep seeing like my hair and stuff if I lean forward. Not something I'm too worried about, but like it is something that is present in my mind. Good. Somehow I don't think you were talking about me rolling my R's. I wish I could split my eyes so that way I could do like the platypus like growl. I do not know why I'm able to roll my R's as well as I am. I just sort of, I think I just picked that up when I was little for some reason. Because I was not, there have been multiple attempts to teach me Spanish across my entire life. And none of them have ever really stuck. Yeah, the big thing about cleaning up parts like this with with your X-Acto knife is to be slow, careful, and light. Otherwise, you could gouge the part really hard, and you'll end up just like super damaging it. Nothing. So it's all plastic and toys and stuff, so like it's nothing irreparable. You just have to know how to repair it. The number one way here being use plastic cement, melt some of the sprue, and then essentially use it as a wood filler. And luckily, I know how to do all that. Good God, it's changing of the seasons, it feels so great. You're out of direction. Yeah, you don't belong here. Yeah, a back shot. Oh, you're such a hypocrite. Okay. Okay. I will be sure to look at that after stream. I think 800 has been the magic number here. What the hell? How did I not know that? I spent so long with 600 yesterday on stream. I was a bit worried that... dude. It's just one of those, it's one of those weird talents that just comes ahead. It surprises people consistently, and I'm not entirely certain how. Good God, you're dragging it out. Then we stick the sticker on there. As this goes inside the kneecap? Why does this go inside the kneecap? Oh, so the kneecap fakes it fakes having depth. I get you. Nah, they're doing a clever thing so you don't have to paint the insides of the knees. It's a vent. Yeah, see, like, look at that. I didn't have to. I no longer have to paint the inside of his knee to make it look like it has depth. That is a thing that people worry about. I actually really like this kit in particular because there's only 8 stickers. It's great. I don't have to. I hate kits with so many stickers, or with like way too many stickers in them. Partly because it's cheap, it makes the kit feel cheaper, you know? And other partly because accurately putting on these stickers is infuriating. Haha. There we go. Oh no! And then we take this piece as well. Clean it up. Yeah, if you're wanting a recommendation for an anime, especially like a mech anime, I cannot recommend enough G Gundam Fighter and Gundam Build Fighters. And Gundam Build Fighters Try. As far as mecha go, or as far as giant robots go, they get the job done. As far as like storytelling and plot, there is one. I can't say it's terrible. I can't say it's amazing. Like G Gundam Fighter is, I know I said it's the Robo Olympics, and the Robo Olympics are a fighting tournament that determines who the like leader of the UN is. But that's just like the premise for the actual fighting tournament. That's not the story. The actual story is essentially our samurai's revenge plot. And it's super cool. You end up following essentially the Japanese team around, you end up following the Japanese team around, and their pilot, whose name is Domon Kashu. And he is a hoot and a half because he takes himself so seriously. And it makes it impossible, and so you end up sort of taking him seriously too. But then he'll do some stupid ass shit, like he'll hold up a picture of his brother and be like, "Have you seen this man?" And it's like, you don't ask that of everyone that you meet, my dude. Because like, what are the chances that any random person will have met your brother? But then there's awesome badass shit where he like fights a mummy and obliterates it using the power of essentially rage. It's awesome. It is, as I mentioned yesterday, just Dragon Ball Z but Gundam. Meanwhile, Gundam Build Fighters and Gundam Build Fighters Try is essentially Gundam, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's a children's toy game that everybody takes way too seriously. Like Fate of the World seriously. Even though it never actually reaches Fate of the World. I wouldn't say with evil spirits. I know what you're talking about. Like, you're talking about essentially Jaden and his whole side bit with the evil spirits, and well, okay, Every Yu-Gi-Oh series has to deal with evil spirits, huh? Okay, don't harp on that too much. Okay, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero's different. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero is just built different. Alright, now we gotta make the chamber, we gotta make it. We got 2 calves done. And it's time to put these calves out to pasture by building the rest of the leg. Let's see. So we need C1. Days. Now I'm a believer without a trace of doubt in my mind. Oh, I know. Dude, I've only seen like Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero abridged, and I know it's better. I know it is significantly darker. Yuki burns a man alive. One and two. Ah, there they are. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. And I'm in love. Ooh, ooh. Would this have been easier if I kept the parts by me? Maybe. The world will never know, though. Didn't Yami actually translate to dark at one point? Like, literally? Taking that whole evil spirit thing to a whole new level? Like, not even a separate entity? Just like the dark thoughts inside of his head? Honestly, based. You think the original intent of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was supposed to be essentially like Death Note, except, you know, with games? What, do you think it was just... Was Yu-Gi-Oh! Originally just supposed to be the anime equivalent of Saw? Do you want to play a game? And then they got, like, the children's card game element, and then it was like, oh, wait, this makes money. I feel like I'm gonna fix or finish the legs, but then I'm not going to be able to finish the accessories on stream today. Which is fine, he's a boxer. He's not supposed to really have accessories, but he does. He's got pistols. He's got... Not only does he have pistols, he has like Nintendo Zapper pistols. Yee. It feels like I don't think he ever actually, or the pilot for this Gundam ever uses the pistols either. I think he just like has them as like the token. Well, you gotta have a gun. You put the gun in Gundam. Jeez. It does make you wonder why Neo America's Gundam isn't just Gundam Heavy Arms. Nah, see, the football player doesn't wear the foam finger, though. That's the problem. That's just an inner tab, the inner tab. There we are. They ended up making a sequel series to Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try, and it's supposed to take place in the metaverse. I don't know how I feel about that. And when I talked about it yesterday, Reload said it's basically what if Gundam was an isekai. And I thought it was going to be like, what if Gundam but SAO? Or I guess, what if SAO but Gundam?
Fuck him up!
Oh wait, why? What did I do? Dude, I think you got to be more aware of the viewer count for the to seize opportunities like that. Well, here's the thing. I would go on, but I don't know anything about it. I didn't watch this, or I didn't watch that series in particular. Just because I don't tend to watch series anymore. Fair enough. Raconteuse does literally translate to storyteller. I do remember looking that up after the first, or after one of the times of talking to you about it. Let's see here. This should. So this side down. Meh. Look, he's even gonna have football pants. I did. Yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo, and I'm a bit of an internet weirdo. Whenever somebody follows me, I usually at least go and look them up after the fact. If I remember to. It's not a 100% guarantee, but it is one of those things that I try to do to make sure I'm at least aware of somebody existing. And that's how most people are, is they haven't done anything. But then sometimes I end up looking somebody up, and then it's like, oh, hey, look, it's Bad Times Virus. And they are Bad Times Virus is now legitimately one of my favorite people. She is amazing, and I like her a lot. And I'm low-key a little bummed that I did not get to play Elden Ring with her today. This is good too. I gotta finish the weight painting on that model so that way she can work on it for her group. It's working on that today, actually. How does this assemble? So we take this, and then we hi, I have my pet knife in my mouth. Don't worry about it. I'm just a swashbuckling model kit builder. Trying very hard to not drool all over his desk. Okay, not drooling over my desk is going to be more complicated than I thought. So that was supposed to snap in there. Okay, so then this. Oh, I had it backwards. That's the problem. Wow, you mean it won't fit in if you put the part in backwards? Who'd have thunk? Hole goes on the other side. Come on, you. Okay, dry fit this. Yes, it fits properly, so what the hell's your problem? Why are you being an asshole? Huh? Okay. We have this, we have that. There it goes. Oh my god, no. Never gonna be able to live that one down now, am I? Ah, yes, it is I, your hero. Are you the one who drooled all over your X-Acto knife? Yes. Fun thing about the hand cam is you can actually see me push the buttons on my stream deck. Fun little side benefit there, you know? You know what? Fair. You do good work for free. And who knows? You found it funny. That means other people will probably find it funny too. Let's be real. Sense of humors are rarely singular. Otherwise, comedians would be out of a job. You have 100% of the rights. In fact, you might appreciate this. So I haven't made them public yet, but I've started going through I've started trying to build the habit of listing VODs on YouTube. So that way, you know, because Twitch has a policy of deleting VODs about 2 weeks after the stream is over, right? So, in order to have a repository for myself in case I need to go download them later for some reason, I'm putting them on, or I'm exporting them to YouTube now. I'm just going to cut out this shit because it's not like I'm going to use it anytime soon. But also, I don't want to have an entire sprue sitting around with just the shield on it. Anywho, so I'm exporting them, and I'm going to make them public. I just haven't yet because it's like there's only like one or two. I planned on doing one. Oh yeah, I got all the parts. Cool. I planned on doing it when I had like 3. Dude, honestly, same. Everybody deserves the right to lose their first stream. And then their second stream. Then their third stream. And then a couple years of worth of streaming. Let's be real. We got growing pains going on here, peoples. We're allowed to grow quietly. And honestly, that's the thing. That's honestly my big thing with when it comes to like learning how to stream better. My first layout was so bad. My background was essentially this like dark blue hexagon grid pattern that was just like static. And then there wasn't anything to interact with. It was just, it would have been a slog of a, it would have just been a slog to watch or participate in. I don't think I ended up having any, and I don't think I ended up having anybody to truly interact with. Like I debuted to no fanfare, to no applause, to no uproarious laughter. I just sort of showed up. That's okay. I then started to improve. I started to work hard and make it so that way I had a better model. I started to make it so that way I was a more entertaining watch, honestly. And I couldn't have done that without having that first stream.
Harry baby.
So, you know. Yeah, believe it or not, the cat saving used to be a limited thing. It used to be limited to the first 10 viewers. Or, well, that was the intent. But then what ended up happening was that I would only get 1 or 2 viewers. And so we'd only save 1 or 2 cats. That sucked. And so that sucked a lot, actually. And so to fix that, well, then we made it so that way you weren't restricted to 1 per stream. But then 1 person would come in, save all 10 cats. That would leave none for the second person. So that wasn't fun to interact with. Had to go through a couple iterations of the cat saving mechanic. Had one thing where it was like, hey, everybody can save up to 10 cats per stream. And the idea there was, well, we can then use it as a measure of, hey, who attended a stream and who watched that. And I tried to make it so there was a prize for whoever saved the most cats in a month. That went poorly. The prize was was just going to be a free subscription. We might be able to go back to that. To having, yeah. But like, in this one in particular, because I have catastrophe now, making it so, okay, let's reward the person who saves the most cats in a month. You can gamble and be like, oh, I'll be here next stream. I'm building up a streak. I'm going to get 5,000 points, so that way I can save 100 cats at one time and get gun for the top, right? Or you can come consistently every stream, save a couple cats. See what I'm saying? And I might do that I might make it prizes for like the first, or for the top 3 cat savers. And yeah, we'll keep it simple of a sub. Because that seems innocuous enough. Because like, I can't promise to give away something on Steam, because I don't know how to do that very well. Even though I think a Steam prize would be better. I can't do a model win because that's just too big. That's like a $1,500 reward. Exactly. And so this is another thing. There is legitimate reason to start doing, I might legitimately start running ads, not necessarily for the ad money, but for the opportunities that having no pre-rolls gives. Oops, I might have sanded off more. I wish it would be a great way to track how long the ad is going for. Because right now I have it set to like minimal ads. Thought I had it set to no ads. We want it like that, right? Chat is nothing but emotes for the whole ad. Oh, you're talking about that emote that you have from Wyvern is one that you talked him into. You know what? I'm glad you were able to talk him into that, and it's a good emote. Not this shit again. Or is this the dinosaur one? Hold on. It's just Dino Dance. Hey yo, we got some legs. Some legendary legs. They can do the splits. And they have blue pinstriping along the leg like actual football pants. Hell yeah. Then we got Oh shit. I got C and D. Let's see here. So we need A, B, C, and D. Okay. A, B, C, and okay. If I could think of a way to get a GIF that would date or work for an entire 60 seconds, that would probably be it. I would 100% do that. A 16? You sure you don't mean 18 and I'm just blind? You do mean 18 and I am just blind. Is that one from Outside Extra or Outside Xbox? Gotcha, though. The one with the head bobbing back and forth. I swear I recognize the person in that emote from a YouTube channel called Outside Extra or Outside Xbox. Oh, I thought that was part of the sprue. Yeah, fair enough. Nobody said you had to know where every single emote you use comes from. It is weird. C21? We're gonna have the entire main figure built by the end of tonight. That is faux show. C20. Hell yeah. C22. That is a good thing. It will mean that there should only be one more stream of Gunpla building after this. Might not be directly after this, but that should be all that happens next. Unless I go back to Gundam Breaker 4, in which case there will be many streams of Gunpla building. It's just that they're going to be toy Gunpla, or they're going to be video game Gunpla. You know what? We're going to cut out this part because I do know that this will also become part of the shield, and then that also gets this sprue done. Don't worry, with my new VOD strat, you're going to be able to come back through and watch. You just won't be able to interact, really. Which I know is the fun of, tells me to cut here. Okay. Which I know is the fun of doing streams is like, you're supposed to be able to, the fun of streams is supposed to be the live interaction element of it, right? And I don't know how that works out for most people. Because some people make great content. They aren't really fun to hang out with, you know? Which is part of the reason they make great content. Yeah, and just hanging out is honestly, hanging out, lurking, as much as I give lurkers a hard time, they are the backbone of the streaming community. I give them a hard time because I'm a chatty chatterson, and if I'm sitting here chatting to a room of people who are just staring at me like, Is he still talking? It's just one of those things, you know? But at this point, I get to thank my ADHD for keeping me on stream and talking forever. That's at least better than me just sitting here being like, I'm just sniffing parts. Yeah, exactly. I get to just sit here and think random thoughts and then say those random thoughts out loud. And then sometimes, every now and then, somebody goes, "Oh, good thought." And I'm like, "Hey, that's a good thought." Plus, if we're being real, it's also one of those things, streaming is by far one of those things that keeps me on task for at least 3 hours. Like, I know we have these times where I'm sitting here and I'm just chatting and it's like, oh yeah, I get distracted. That's by design. You know what I mean? Like, it is straight up just one of those things where it's like, if I'm not streaming, what was I doing? Nothing. How do we orient this part? So this ought to go in here like so. I don't like that that doesn't snap in or anything. Hello, dear Reload. How are you? We got some legs. And I broke the face shield on well, not the face shield, the guard that like goes in front of his football helmet. So that's sitting off to the side with some plastic cement. Oof. Dude, thanks for taking the heat away from us. I went outside for work today, and straight up, it felt like it was nice and temperate. I was sitting out there and like wearing my jacket because I usually wear it to work. And I'm like, holy shit, I am actually getting use out of my jacket today. Don't you live in California? You sure it wasn't just a random wildfire? Y'all, or your state is lousy with them. Fair. Hey, wait, he laughed at that one. Come on. And it says, slightly fit the parts as far as they will go. All right. Oh. Oh. Ah! Okay, I think that's it. Or I think that is as far as. Oof. That is way hot. That sucks. I not a praying man, but like, you know, hoping for better weather your way. Or at least hoping for the heat wave to break. I really hope that piece fixes well. I I'm like a little it snapped in between my fingers while I was trying to pull the face off, so that way I could panel line the face. Oh hell yeah. 2-day heat wave, that's not too bad. It's sucky. But you know, it could be worse. Wait a minute, I wonder, did I ever put this back in? No, I did not. Okay. Dude, my one time when it was so hot in my office, we got to go home early because of how hot it was, because it broke the air conditioning. Okay, I'm glad that they did that. Has that always been a feature in high grades and I just didn't realize it? Okay, so the front skirts can move independently, and there are these like little ball and socket joints. And on older high grade model kits, they wouldn't separate like the way the instructions tell you to separate these ones. And so I would end up doing like a manual separation and then putting a metal rod through them so that way I could control them better. They just always been able to separate like this and I just didn't know. And am I just a dumbass? That is perfectly well within the realm of possibility. Okay, I know this is the front. But like, come on. What the why would you be outside in that? That sounds absolutely miserable. Aha, look. He has legs. He can do the splits. He can kick with the beautiful spread. Get out about that far. Can go back that far. Oh my god. I should appreciate toy reviewers who know how to actually display posability much more than I do, apparently. You know which reviewer I am referencing? Congratulations on having brain rot. Weirdly enough, not referencing Metaton. Look at that! Look at that! He's coming together! Let's fucking go! Yes, technically his upper body was already supposed to be put together, but I disassembled it because I was attempting panel lining. And then I accidentally put his arms on backwards. It's fine. This is all part of the plan, right? There we go. Hell yeah. All of his joints are super tight, which is like weird for a model kit. Usually he feels super solid, almost like action figure quality. Yeah, and even with his, I'll put the V fin in just so he has it on, so he at least looks like a proper Gundam, even though his face guard is broken. That's on me. Still not over the fact that the horse got into Gundam. Okay, I made a tweet about, ta-da! We have our one glorious looking football player. Hold on. Look at all that beautiful detail that you can barely see because it will not focus. Hey, there we go. Yeah, and so like these vents right here. On. Basically, those vents on his front skirts would be used for, that's where I would be doing panel lining. So what I would do is take like, it's not hard. All you do is you take the appropriate color panel line marker, make sure it's not a paint pen. It's just a regular marker. It's just essentially a regular super fine point marker with the Gundam branding, obviously, because you have to have the branding. And then you just trace inside. And then there'll end up being some overspill. Perfectly natural. It's okay. And then you take an eraser and lightly go over it. And now, hell, you can even see it in this poor lighting version. Focus, damn you. But like, you see what I mean. It is bright, but you saw how you could see those little black lines on his, you can actually almost probably see them from there. You can see these little lines right here almost. There you are. And that's what panel lining does, is it makes those details stand out more. And so when you do it correctly, it looks really good. And it helps bring the like anime part of it to life, essentially. And so I'll probably go around, I won't do that on stream because it's frankly just a boring process and I'm going to end up having to take apart large parts of it. Like I'm going to have to pull the legs off so that way I can put them back on. But you know, that's pretty fucking neato. And so now since he has legs, I can actually put him in a proper boxing stance. Hell yeah. And so then we swap out his pull out his little fist covers that he has right there, like his little. And he could be looking more American. How you doing, Max? Have you seen? There is a version. It's like, you know how Shining Gundam has an evolved version that is Burning Gundam, right? There's an evolved version of Gundam Maxter that has giant magnums on it. So hold on. I gotta show you this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta know what I'm talking about. Yes, Max Revolver. Also, thank you BTS for the follow. I didn't know that I was going to be followed by a boy band today, let alone a K-pop band. That's fun. Hold on. And also thank you Reload for telling me the exact name of it, so that way I don't have to like spend a moment looking it up. Gundam Max Revolver. It is an even more American. Yeah, so we go from this, a football player with cowboy sidearms and a boxer, to this, just a straight up cowboy. We love him with all our hearts. He looks like a giant toy in the best way possible. Like, straight up, you could sell that as a giant chunk of plastic, just like how the Megazords were. And, that's like Gundam Tryon still levels of silly. Exactly! We love him! He is the best! And then that is obscenely ridiculous, and I love him. Hold on, I have seen Pandora, so now we are going to pick a different song. It's so good though. I love it. It's so goofy. Dude, honestly, I'm only familiar with G Fighter, Gundam, and Gundam Build Fighter, so like I think Gundam is just such a far-reaching and broad franchise at this point that you can't really get upset at anybody for having only known a small portion of it, you know? Oh, we gotta build the core lander now. Hell yeah. We get a race car. Heck yeah. Oh shit, I mean, that means I probably gotta do this. Which means that's also... Hold on. D2, C1, C2, C1, C2. Yeah, that'll be all these pieces. Heck yeah. I think Gundam Freedom or Gundam Strike Freedom was one of the first model kits I ever built. That's the one with like the two rail cannons on the side of its hips, right? And like the gold, or like the blue and gold wings. Is Gundam Freedom not the same as Freedom Gundam? Okay. What? What the fuck? What? No. No. Next, you're gonna tell me Gundam Unicorn, or next you're gonna tell me Unicorn Gundam is not the main star of Gundam Unicorn. I need to show you guys something cursed I made in Gundam Build, or in Gundam Breaker. It's not cursed, it's just fun cursed. Where did I post it? Yeah, up here, I made the ultimate Gundam Unicorn, or the ultimate Unicorn Gundam. Look at his majesty. They gave me the horse head and the horse body. I'm going to live up to Unicorn Gundam's name so true, so faithfully, so truly. I love it. It's so stupid. The best part is that you can select like a preset color palette. So I just literally just gave it Gundam Unicorn's color palette too. Which made it like so much easier just to make this whole thing work. It is, right? Like, I defy you to make a bit more unicorn Gundam. Only way I could have made it more unicorn would have been if I could have made the body invisible. But then at that point, it's not Gundam Unicorn. It's just Sasaki or Fusakagi or I don't know, whatever master or the horse's name is. Why the horse had a Gundam in the first place, I will never know. It is beyond the comprehension of a mortal or of an immortal android's mind. Also, have you played Gundam Breaker yet, Max? I feel like you would enjoy it. I need to figure out how to make Gundam Maxter in there. The fact that they didn't include him, and they included the fucking horse, still pisses me off. Oh, but he's not Master Asia without his horse. I would have only forgiven it if they gave the horse a unique fighting style. And like you could just run around as the horse. So, one thing about this Gundam, if you don't know about G Fighter series, they have basically race cars that fly them into the pilot seat. That's fair. Oh. Honestly, I felt that exact same way. And that's the only reason I don't have, or I haven't like bought Space Marine 2, is that between Gundam Breaker, Akimbot, and Space Marine, I kind of just don't want to spend that much money on games or that much time. They could have released, I feel like they could have released a couple of these games like a couple weeks earlier and then not had to compete with each other, but also like all the games I'm interested in are not competing with each other. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize there were other Gundam fight tournaments. I might have just not seen, I just might not have registered it. They really did go ham with that. Oh. I thought he was just, that would explain why he was, that would kind of explain why he, despite being such an aged combatant, was still allowed to be there. Gotcha. Don't worry, I wasn't worried about it or anything. I do just wish that we got to see more of it. Like, you can't tell me you would not like to have seen the Master Asia in his prime fighting. And just basically being Domon. like personality-wise, and that's why he gets along with them well. I thought he just kicked a lot of people's ass. I didn't think it was in a tournament. I like legitimately thought for some reason he just got into fist fights and nobody could beat him. And then he got kind of like how Wayne is known as the toughest guy in Letterkenny in the show Letterkenny. Your myth becomes so big that it leaves your town, and then it gets bigger. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually, you're a worldwide icon. Yeah, honestly, if you're not feeling Gundam Breaker's gameplay, I really cannot recommend it unless you're there for the like the gameplay is okay. I don't think the actual gameplay is the primary gameplay loop is my thing. Not a bad thing. It's just how I'm stating it. Like in Overwatch, the primary gameplay loop is going through and playing the matches. Same with any other shooter. This is not going, or the primary gameplay loop of Gundam Breaker is not to go through and fight other Gundam models. That's the thing you do after. Okay. No, enjoy your food. I know you said soon, but still. Exactly. You should see the Shadow the Hedgehog I made. I showed it off, I think, last stream, but like, I need to make a post about it on Twitter. It's great. Like, straight up. I made it even better than like the last time I made a picture of it, so I'm gonna, like, I got the head shaping just right. I got the eyes to actually be like angry asshole eyes. And it's like, it's so great. I love it. It's so stupid. I love it. Like, half of the time when I'm building, I'm shooting for stupid. Because to me, stupid is funny. Okay, D5. Tell your sister to make her own food. Damn. What is she, like 3? If she's actually 3, I'm gonna feel like an asshole now. Hell, tell your 3-year-old sister to make her own food. That'll be funny. Ah.
Oh, that doesn't sound very heroic.
I'm off the clock. I'm allowed to be not heroic all the time. Come on. Freaking stickers! I should have bought the metallic paint marker. I saw it at the store. I didn't, or I thought, no, it'll be fine. Should have bought the metallic paint marker. Dude, I love Fallout Boy. Straight up. Look, it's the cockpit. Is it gonna focus? Take your Adderall, damn it. Anywho. Then the cockpit goes here. Okay, wait a minute. How does this go? So you take this, you jam it in right here. And then it slides down. Okay. And then we take the back piece of it and bam. Cram it down there. And then we take these venti pieces and we give it little skis. Dude, it's a backpack, it's a car, it's a giant robot. We love it in every sense of the word. I just misassembled this, didn't I? Oh, and this is going to be a bitch and a half to disassemble. Oh, no, I didn't misassemble it. Hell yeah. I should have known. I'm too amazing to misassemble this. Okay, and then these yellow pieces. Red pieces. My only friend. The city I live in. The city of angels. As I am. Oh. Okay, so then we take this sticker and we wrap it around that. God, this is the worst part of putting stickers on. All right, don't set the house on fire. You'll be fine. Getting these stickers that have to wrap around stuff, that's like the worst part. I feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Take no ever wanna feel like I did that day. If I had bought the metallic markers, I probably would have been able to paint this red. Because other than that, that's stupid. It's like a little shoe for your car. There to believe. Meow, 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 meow. God, okay, I'm gonna have too much fun with that. You know, if I had a Gundam model, it totally would have a core lander. That like works like the G Fighter models do. Like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I never wanna feel like I did that day. How do y'all end up dealing with stickers? I end up managing somehow. I don't know how. There, my car has the shoes have been put on the car. And now I somewhat wish I hadn't. Because apparently. So apparently the last stickers go on these little bumps right here, and they add yellow, or they add little splashes of yellow. Okay, I'm trying not to be too forceful. You gotta believe me. I know, right? It's amazing. It's a feat of American ingenuity. You forgot the cowboy part. He's got the gun holsters on his side like a cowboy. You gotta remember the cowboy part. There we go. Honestly, yeah, no, it is like they did a lot of designs in G Gundam that I feel like incorporated a lot of stuff really well. I know I've made jokes about it in the past, but like Tequila Gundam is legitimately a good looking Gundam model despite it being a giant Mexican stereotype. Literally, it's a giant robot, and it's got a cactus for one arm and a sombrero. And its name is Tequila Gundam. You know what would have been awesome for the Tequila Gundam to have? The Tequila Gundam should have had a lasso. And a hawk. Or is it an eagle? I don't know. Whatever. It could have had a little eagle drone that it sent out. And then it landed on its cactus arm. That would have been awesome. No, because here's the thing. The Mexican flag has the oh shit. The Mexican flag has the is the one with the eagle on it, right? And where do you think American cowboys learned how to do the cowboy shit? Hey Strim, how's it going? How is Project Zomboid? I am currently, not gonna lie, you kind of caught me towards the end of stream. I'm putting up the last I'm putting the last touches on the core lander for Gundam Maxter. Is it ever not hectic? What, rating people at the end of streams? Hey man, that just happens. It's one of the dangers of streaming. And having, yeah, that's the other thing. Whenever you have friends who have similar schedules as you you end up not being able to watch their streams because they're streaming whenever you're streaming. Or, vice versa. And then you're like, oh, well, do you want to collab sometimes? So you'll be live streaming then. And then they're like, but I had plans. And then, it's a mess. Tommy and Gina, who never back down. But yeah, you know what? Showing your support to anybody just by rating them is nice. However, I do not feel like that is what the raid tool is for. In a very real and pragmatic sense, I think it's useful to show the potential person that you want to collab with how many viewers you can bring to the table. Because if you're being realistic, how often do you stay after somebody raids? If you raid somebody, or if somebody takes you into a raid. Yes, 100%. To be fair, Doc, you should be used to that. You're a furry. That's kind of just like the standard modus operandi. Upon meeting a furry, come on. Stab at the slightest provocation, they might be a werewolf. You gotta be sure that they're not a werewolf by stabbing them. Especially with other furries. And then we take the little Corlander and plug it into his back, and it goes, oh, there it goes. Such a good fit. Oh my god. That is not a bad looking backpack. I like that. How hard is it to get back out? And then you pull it back out. Easy peasy. Oh, dude, I think most people that you raid understand that most of the time when you raid, you're sitting there like, hey, I want to go get food, or I need to go to the bathroom, or something to that nature. Let's see here. So if I understood this correctly when I was watching a review earlier, that should now tab into guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Back. Guess who's back? Dan. Hey! He's got his rocket-powered punches! Doc, you don't want that. You know how bad I usually have to use the restroom after a stream? Swear to God, it could fill the Grand Canyon. In fact, it used to. I have to use time travel to send the pee back in time, or to send the coolant back in time. We have come up with creative uses for time travel, that's for sure. You teleport it back in time far enough, and then it becomes part of the water cycle. And then you've created livable or habitable planets out of nothing. Actually, just straight up from pissing around. And if your calculations are wrong, you create a piss comet, which is also cool. Look at that! Look at that! That is a Gundam and a half! Let's get that light off. Actually, we're gonna take both lights off. That's not too bad. I am pretty stoked about that. He's got abs! And ooh. Hell yeah, eventually whenever that faceplate is fixed, I get to put his helmet back together. And then we gotta do pan aligning. See, for me, my rating habits are very much I usually raid and lurk. Because I understand the value of having a new viewer. And having that especially for a smaller streamer, if it's a larger streamer, I'll usually raid and dip. Because then it's like, oh, you don't need the one viewer. Like, y'all get the emails after you're done streaming from like Stream Elements that say, hey, here's how many average streamers you here's how many average viewers you had this stream. Hold on, let's see if I can get him into a proper boxing stance. Hell yeah. And then you crunch forward a little bit, raise up your guard, look him dead in the eye. Oh yeah. Man, I always seem to get the one that is directly from Stream Elements. I don't like that I always get the one from Stream Elements, but I always do. And I end up having, okay, I swear to God, that's misassembled. Hold on. I wish I had the action base done already. Yeah, like, we still have to build the action base, the guns, the shield, and like all the other bits to make it so that way he can explode out of his armor and throw an amazing right hook. Look, okay, so this is a weird little detail. He's got little rockets underneath his boxing gloves. So that way he throws rocket-powered punches. I love it. This is a Gundam after my own heart. Oh my God, I'm so glad I got this model kit. It's so good. I haven't decided whether he's going straight up here on top of my desk or if he's going into the new bookshelf I built in my bedroom. He is either going there. Those are like the two positions and that I have opened up right now. And if he doesn't go there, then it's going to be one of I just also got the real grade burning Gundam. So there's a strong possibility that the other spot will be taken by that. Can I get you down into a proper Man, this would be great if you had a friggin' toe bend. If you had a toe bend, you'd be able to get that pose easy. All right. That's not bad. It's probably how he'll be until I finish his accessories. Really happy that he actually comes with his own stand. Because then that means I don't have to buy one. I get to pose him in all of his glory doing cool shit. Which is, in fact, how G Gundam is supposed to be appreciated. Posed doing cool shit. Hell yeah. I love him. If you actually look at my Discord profile, Bad Time Virus, she has been in a mood of drawing like retro anime versions of profile pictures for people. And so she actually drew me as Chibbity Crockett, who is the pilot of Gundam Maxter. Ooh, wait, that's a good pose too. That is a good pose. We like that. A solid uppercut. What, you wondered what the new profile picture was? No, I swear to God, it feels like the legs are built wrong. Something about the legs just feels wrong. I know they're not. It just feels wrong, and I don't like it. Oh, damn. See, so it's got a little swing right here for the hips. Like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, so he's got a little swing right there in the hips, and then he has additional joints in there, so you could move his legs back and forward. I love customizing my profile, not gonna lie. That's the other bit of that. And then figuring out I could put in something stupid like that made my brain happy. What do you mean you don't have games on your phone? Do your parents not let you have any? I don't either. That's why I was hoping you had them. And then, y'all want to know the secret to Gundam modeling, or like Gundam posing? You jut the hip so goddamn far forward, and then you crunch the ab, and then you end up with this super dynamic looking pose. That looks good from most angles. There's barely any wiggle. How did you... There we go. I like that. That is good. We are gonna put him there, stanced up with the right next to Spider-Man and my 2 3D printed action figures. Yeah. Nah. The final shot. Okay. So, one of the accessories that he comes with is his an action base, as well as a fireball punch. Hold on, that's not him. Sure. How about I just show it to you from the website? Hold on. Skip. Also, this out. And a perfect song to end on. Hell yeah. Gundam Maxter. So these are the pictures from the kit. So first of all, we get this fireball effect. That's freaking rad. Then, if we actually like go into it, yes, I'm aware that you are sold out. I got mine though, so I don't care. They always do such a good job showing things off with it being fully panel lined. But you also get a free stand that's cool and red, also known as my favorite color. And with that stand, you get other bits to make the armor explode up, so he just delivers one final super punch! It's so cool! I love it! Look at it! Look at it! I can see his abs glisten in the sunlight. All the armor flies off. It's so cool. Imagine delivering a blow so hard that it just erupts your shoulder, your clothes out. Oh my god. Yeah, he doesn't come with a ton of accessories, but he comes with the right accessories, and that's what we care about. Love it. Anywho, that's where I think we'll start wrapping, or that's where I think we'll wrap up for now. So, I know, right? If my superhero design had more armor to purge, I would totally do that too. But, frankly, all I got is the shoulder pads, so unless you want to see me go full commando, I don't think, which I think some people would like that. Some people might find it to be, obscene. Whatever. It's for me, not for them. Yes, but with more artistry to it. There's gotta be a certain flair to it. You know, like I gotta be in the super mode while I'm doing it. Bonus points for rainbow super mode. You know? I still gotta figure out how to make like an aura effect in Unity so I can make it so that way I actually go like I do love that. I love that look a lot. Well, you see, Doc, you probably have enough points for this. There should be a new redeem at the very end of the redeems list that you might look at.
Well now, this calls for a celebration.
I need to make the cats fall slower. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all of it. That's pretty much all it is. Anywho. So yes, we did save a lot of cats. 205 cats. It's pretty big. But I can save 10 more. So, cat number 1. Ganondorf. Cat number 2. What do you say? Can we save more cats? Cat number 3. Well, if the cat in the hat's here, where do you think thing 1 and thing 2 are? Oh shit, they're probably causing havoc somewhere, aren't they? Cat number 4. Mothcat. There's no need to feel down. We have Mothcat. Cat number 5. Ah, yes, a fellow hero, Rescue Cat. He is doing a good job because he is a good cat who does his job. And that's all that we really ask. And also look at his little whistle. Come on. Are you trying to tell me he's not doing a good job with that little whistle in his mouth? That would be rude. Cat number 6. I don't think he's supposed to be... I get that he's got a Pop-Tart for a body, but I think something's wrong. If your poop turns into a rainbow, you might want to see a physician. I'm just saying. Or visit your local gay bar. It might be a sign. Cat number 7. It's Hikori! I wonder if Hikori's gonna be in there with... I know who we're going to raid today, so like I don't think we're gonna probably end up raiding Ember because he's got started with the Space Marine 2, and I want to see what it's like. Cat number 8. All right, man. You don't need to judge us that hard from over there, especially when you're sitting with that such indecent pose. What'd you just realize? Cat number 9. Dude, you kind of snuck up on us. He's a ninja like that, though. Yes and no. The problem with gifts is that basically the way the randomizer works is that it doesn't, they have to follow a structure, which is number.png. Yes, if you can get a frame and send it as a PNG, that would work. And last but not least, cat number 10. I don't know, there's something familiar about your face there. I think you were just here, weren't you? I don't know, it looks like somebody drew you a new one, though. I don't know, he seems a little suspicious. Anyhoozles. We're gonna raid Ember tonight because he's playing... Well, he just went away for a moment. Shit. Ugh. We're still gonna raid him. Y'all can lurk for a moment because he's gonna be playing Space Marine, and plus it's gonna be an extra moment to wrap up. Anywho. Thank y'all for coming to stream this evening. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings as I built a model kit, as that is going to happen again later. Until next time, keep being heroic and have a great rest of your night. Peace. Also, Doc, if you're listening, you just gotta post the PNG to the tree in the Discord channel, or send it to me directly. All right, later.